The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
The good man himself, he's come back in the Kiwi studio with a bottle of wine, which will open up fairly soon. Jason Bryant, g'day.
Good morning, Wammo. Bees.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Ron Hoskins a little bit earlier on this morning. He's a beekeeper from Swindon, 79-year-old beekeeper, and he's been concerned, obviously, about the varroa mite problem.
Have they got it over there?
They do. It's all over the world.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Right,
so
okay.
it's here, and it's been making its way down to the South Island as well. So beekeepers and horticulturalists, anyone who's concerned about food supply in the world, are very concerned about this varroa bee mite. And he reckons he's got a strain of bee, he's calling the Swindon honeybee, that grooms the mite off other bees.
Swindon in the UK?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been to Swindon?
No.
It'll explain a lot if you go.
Yeah?
They've got this... Swindon is the most bizarre town ever.
Is it?
But they've got the set of roundabouts called the Magic Roundabouts, and everything they believe in Swindon is kind of magic.
Is that where the Magic Roundabout TV show came from?
Oh, possibly, but I think that's coincidental. But they've got these one central roundabout, and they've got 7 roundabouts leading into it.
Right.
And so it's just carnage.
You don't know where to go.
No, you have no idea. And so it's Magic Roundabout, and so people
sounds
get
worse
lost.
than the Christchurch one-way system.
I think people have been there for about 25 years, and they're still going round. I mean, we talk about that traffic jam in China lasting 9 weeks or 3 months or whatever like this, right? People are still... And in airports for like 20 years, people are on these roundabouts. They're still going round.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just get you to that very smart phone of yours, just to move it a little bit further away from the microphone, because it's creating a little bit of a buzz. But you're passionate about bees as well.
I am. I've got a great bee story. It's great to me anyway. But when I was in the halls of residence in the UK, one summer I used to leave my window open, ground floor, and this bee flew in.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't see it fly in, but I saw it fly out, and I thought, oh, that's strange. And it went, came out of my speaker.
What? It came out of your speaker?
Yeah, I had a little kind of bass hole at the bottom of my speaker.
What were you smoking
stereo.
at the time?
Nothing. And then it would be flying in and out. I had nothing really in my room of interest for people to rob, so apart from my stereo.
Yeah.
And so this bee would be flying in and out, and then it would come in about 5 o'clock in the evening, and then want to go out about 7 o'clock in the morning.
You talk to it?
And
Say, "G'day,
I
little
call
bee."
it Bertie. Right?
Bertie the bee.
And my mates used to think I was absolutely insane. Anyway, one day I came into my room and there were about 400 bees in my room.
Oh, my goodness.
Bertie was Beatrice.
Holy heck.
And I had to somehow get to the window, open it.
Wow.
And then all these bees flew out. And then I took the stereo speaker outside and there was a full bee's nest inside.
And this was bees, not wasps?
Bees. Yeah,
Golly.
big bumblebee.
Golly. Oh, okay, a bumblebee.
Yeah.
They've got what does their nest actually look like? It's
honeycomb as well.
It is honeycomb?
Yeah, exactly the same. And so my friends, we tried to get the nest out of the speakers to save the speaker, and then we put it into
dangerous.
Put it into a bowl, but I had to close my window for about 3 weeks
because they thought because they're programmed.
They're programmed to come back in, right? And I had all these bees at 5 o'clock at night out my window, kind of almost crying. I felt the pain.
Where did the nest end up? Did it survive?
It did. Most of them survived. I put it in a very, very sheltered place, and I'd be taking bees there so that they knew where to go.
Did they like the music you were playing? What were you playing at the time?
Kind of Nirvana, a bit of Pearl Jam, bit of Oasis and stuff like that. So it's
like the style.
Early 90s years of beekeeping.
Yeah,
alternative beekeeping.
Golly gosh, I've never heard of that. A bee nest inside a speaker.
No, nor have I. And so seeing what you were going to speak about led me to choose my wine this morning.
Yeah, what is it?
Because it's... I don't know whether you guys can see it. This is the Letter series from Montana, and this is Patutahi Gewurztraminer from Gisborne. And now what you expect, or should expect to find in Gewurztraminer is this kind of rose petal, Turkish delight, bit of stone fruit, and also some honey characters. And so I thought there was a nice segue between honeybees, bees, and wine.
Yeah. Do bees relate at all to the wine industry? I mean, does the wine industry... No.
We don't need them.
No, you don't, do you?
No.
There's no flowers on grapevines?
There are, but they're self... I was going to say inseminating.
There are flowers.
There are flowers, yeah. You get flowering period around about November, and that determines kind of what's going to happen the following year on your grapevine. But we don't need bees to pollinate. They're self-pollinating.
How odd. I mean, obviously, there must be flowers. I can't even picture a flower on a grapevine. To me, it goes straight from leaves to grapes.
Yes.
There they are.
But there's a flowering period.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
And then if it gets a bit windy or wet and stuff like that and the flowers blow away...
It's a problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to... Nature's very finely tuned and balanced. And it's self-regulating.
Yeah. So without the bees, because bees
We'd
are...
still be drinking wine.
Well, I saw one bee on my broad beans the other day. I was like, "Good on you, little bee. Wonder where you came from." Because you're quite early in the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I worry about the I walk around, I can't say where I walk around, with my dog every morning.
Why not?
Because there's a Find the Wine thing from last year that's still going on. And one of the clues is where I walk.
So hang on, tell us about this. You've got a case of wine buried somewhere?
One bottle worth $700 buried somewhere in Auckland.
How long's it been buried for?
Since last June.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over a year. So have you put clues out somewhere?
Yeah, they're all on my videos and on Twitter.
Okay, cool.
And but no one's found it yet. But people have been looking, and people.
It could be years, right?
Well, yeah, that's. It wasn't supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be like a 2-week kind of competition, and I failed. And in generating the excitement around
Do you
it.
go back there sometimes to check if it's still there?
I walk past it every day.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a big clue.
I know who I'm going to be following one morning.
And so I walk around this place, and I have noticed the lack of bees.
Yeah.
And that's concerning.
Yeah.
And there's this statement that was released kind of earlier this year that if the world was... if all the bees died in the world, that the world would only survive for 4 years.
And before we're all over.
Yeah.
I mean, there's artificial pollination you can do, but you can't. It's pretty hard to replicate the work of the bees.
Yeah, and I would hate to test that theory.
Yeah.
So I think that we owe it to each other and to the bees to be very supportive, get as many hives and back gardens and everything as possible.
Goodness knows what climate change is doing to bees. Temperature rises. Who knows?
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, we don't know. We're just ostriches with our head in the sand anyway about that, I think.
Well, I've bought a packet of seeds that I'm going to plant. I think it's called Phacelia.
What, are they from
I haven't got that wrong. No. They're from Organic Garden Centre up north on the main State Highway 1 up north. And it attracts not necessarily honeybees but bumblebees to your garden. So I'm quite keen to.
Hebes do that as well.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
We've got a hebe going. It's just starting to flower. Yeah.
Yeah, Hebes.
I've
got a bit of an interest in it.
There's a particular honey that they call hebe honey, where they've got some hives near a lot of hebe plants.
Yeah.
And they gather the pollen from there. Anyway,
onto
the wine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Golly, wow, big on the nose, yeah?
This is what I mean. It's kind of like walking through a summer meadow. And
sweet on the nose.
Yeah, very sweet on the nose. And you do get that kind of Turkish delight. If you've ever eaten kind of Turkish delight, that's what you get. And also you do get that rose petal, kind of pink rose petal character, and also that kind of almost that honey citrusy character as well.
Quite heavy.
Yeah, very heavy.
Yeah.
And this is about one of the best wines for me that Montana do. And this P series is kind of, we're not talking cheap. We're talking kind of like anywhere between $25 and $30.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a splash out wine, especially for Gewurztraminer as well. Very difficult to pronounce, so people are a bit intimidated by the grape.
Lovely and clear as well. Look, beautiful in the glass.
Golden nectar.
Lots of legs. Oh,
I mean, I get a kind of orange blossom, almost a tea character. Green tea, orange blossom, a bit of stone fruit, a bit of Turkish delight, and that definitely that rose petal, sweet, flowery finish.
It's like a mouthful of the final golden days of summer.
Yeah, that's a very, very good.
I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes, you know,
you're a natural.
That's what it comes to me.
Natural.
Yeah, cheers.
You should be. Let's swap seats.
You know how to push these buttons?
No idea about that either.
But because is this late harvesty sort of?
No. This is the proper stuff. But you do have to, because you've got to be careful of the alcohol levels, otherwise it just spirals. But also you want to retain some of the acidity.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You'll
What a
enjoy
wine.
this tonight.
Yeah. So what would you give it?
90.
9-0.
Yeah, 9-0. The
For-
big 9-0 as well.
Let's give them
07.
let's give them the credit. What are they again?
Montana, Patutahi, Gisborne, Gewurz. Yeah. Spot on.
A pleasure once again, Jason Bryant. Just talking bees, talking wine. You never know
Bees.
where it's going to be and how it's going to head each and every week here in the Kiwi studio on a
Exactly.
Friday at the same time. We'll talk to you next week, huh?
Arrivederci.